correct?
You are correct. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
morning.
And I think this is a great time of the year to have you back on the show, especially for me because we just built a new deck. So, actually, that's where my husband is today. He's trying to get that done. We're trying to get it nearly completed. So, I have a few questions about people that have built a new deck. What we did is we took our old deck off, put a new one on, and put a roof over it and stuff. So, all of that wood is all brand new wood again. So, one of my questions to start with is how long should you wait before you do anything to it? Because I know it has a lot of water in it and different things like that. It's green wood or whatever you build decks with. I don't know what it is, but anyway, we've heard all different kinds of theories about that. Some say you need to let it dry out for a year. Some say no, you need to put it on right away. What do you recommend doing?
All of those things have been true at some point in time, depending on how they were pressure treating the wood at the time. Some of the older pressure treated lumber, and I'm talking from 10, 15, 20 years ago, that might have been true that you need to wait a year, but the new pressure treated lumber, you don't need to wait that long. As a matter of fact, we encourage you to not wait until it gets old and nasty before you put a protectant on it, which is what a lot of people do. They say, oh, it still looks good, I'll just wait. Which I don't understand. It's like wait until your car's rusty to get it painted.
To polish it?
Yeah, so I just don't understand why they're doing that. But yeah, when you have brand new pressure-treated lumber, we recommend that you can do it immediately, but I recommend you wait at least 3 months before you do that to let it
3
dry
months?
out. You can do it immediately. It won't take the stain quite as well when you do it sooner, so we like to let it go at least 3 months, and then sometime before 12 months is up is when we would recommend making sure you apply a protectant to it.
So since we're putting it up now, our philosophy is because we live down at the lake, so we really don't like to do projects in the summer. We like to play on the boat. So if we waited till like early fall, would that be too long to wait?
No, absolutely not. Anytime in 3 to 12 months would be my recommendation.
Okay, and then one of the things that there are so many products out there. There's stain and there's sealer, and so how do you know what to use? Some people paint their decks. We've been told you don't want to do that. Some people swear you do want to do that. So
I've done that.
it's did
It
you do
won't
that?
happen again.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I guess I could ask my son that question. But what I want to know is what is the difference between a stain and a sealer? And if you stain it, do you still have to seal it?
That's a great question, and the terms, people start using them interchangeably, and they're not the same thing at all. A stain is exactly what you might expect it to be. It's just a colorant. It provides color to the wood, and while that in and of itself might provide some UV protection, it's really not doing anything else but making it look pretty. A sealer, I think most people are referring maybe to a waterproofer when they refer to a sealer, at least with the products that we use at Woodrenew, that the stain and that sealer or waterproof are all one product. They're mixed together, and so you get not only the pretty appearance, but you get the water protection and the UV repellent or the UV protection as well. But not every product is like that. So if you're going to your local hardware store to pick up something, make sure that you're getting not just a stain, but something that's got UV protection as well as water repellency. They don't necessarily have that in them.
So if you like the color your deck is, if you like the natural wood color, can you just put a sealer on it then? Or
Sure.
and that will, because that will I don't know if it will just keep the color natural then, and then do you have to clean that and stuff like you do something that's been stained, or how does that work if you just put sealer on it and you don't stain it?
There's a range of products that you can put on your deck that range from, a clear product like what you're referring to a semi-transparent, which is what we do, to a solid color stain, or even a paint-like product that you can put on your deck. And they all have their pluses and their minuses. A clear, I kind of compare them to the SPF in your sunscreen. You can use a clear product, but it doesn't have very good UV protection, so you're going to find you're going to have to clean and reseal that deck more often because it's going to turn gray and ugly faster. So you can use the clear as long as you understand you're going to have to clean it and seal it a little more often. And you can go with the paint-like products, the solid color stains, although I really try to shoo people away from doing that. Nathan's nodding his head over there. You can get a longer life out of those products, but when they fail, and everything that you set out in Mother Nature is going to fail at some point, when it starts to fail, it's going to chip and flake and peel, and you're going to have a real mess on your hands at that point. So We like to find our way somewhere in the middle with a semi-transparent product, so you get the best of the UV protection, but you don't have the mess of a product that's going to peel and flake.
So do you just have to cover it one time if you're staining it or putting that protector on it? Is one coat sufficient, or do you need to put 2 coats on there? I've heard it both ways. If you put 2 coats on there, it kind of gets, it can gum up on you or something if you get it too thick. But I've also heard if you just put 1 on there, then you're going to wear it off really fast. So you need that second one for longer wear. So what's the answer to that question?
You know, if you use a stain like we're talking about, a stain with a UV and water repellent in it, it's designed to soak into the wood, meaning that it doesn't go on the way a paint goes on. It doesn't go on in coats. And so I highly recommend you don't do that, because it won't work. It's designed to soak into the board. If you start putting it on top, it's just sitting on the top, and it's going to, just fall off.
Okay.
So if you're using a true penetrating stain, it'll soak into the boards, and when that board's soaked up all it's going to soak, you're done.
I see.
Now, if you go to a solid color stain, you could probably do those in coats, but again, you start getting back into the same issue of it chipping and flaking and peeling, and I'd much rather somebody put a clear product on than a solid color stain.
Okay. And so usually 1 coat is all you need to do then.
Right, and I wouldn't even use the term coats, because it's really not going on the way a paint goes on in a coat. It's soaking into the wood.
Okay, so we'll call it an application.
Application.
Does that make you happier, Brett?
It makes me a little bit happier. See, we're here to educate.
We are, and like I said, we just redid ours, and so I had all these questions. We might have some listeners out there that have questions as well, and if they do, they can reach us here. Our number is 862-9977 or 1-800-375-0056. Lots of people out there have decks. Lots of people like to use their decks in the summer. It's a great place to go out and sit down and relax and enjoy things, and your family and your friends. And for instance, we're going to put a little outdoor kitchen on ours so that I can cook and be there on the deck with everybody else, instead of being in the house cooking or on the side of the yard cooking when everyone else is on the deck. So there's lots of things decks are good for, and I know a lot of people have them, but and there are some that do need some assistance and some help. I do go by a few places, and when I knew you were going to be back on, and I was kind of looking around, I thought, hope those people are listening. They could use some help with their deck, but you never know. Some people like to do it themselves, but it can be very tedious to do it yourself.
Yeah, I'd recommend hiring a professional for sure.
Sometimes it costs you more to do it yourself, doesn't it, Nathan?
Now, once you paint one, is there something you guys can do to go out there and get that paint off, or is it,
Yeah, that's a sliding scale. It depends on what kind of product you used, how recently it was put on, how well you prepped the deck before you put it on.
Right.
The short answer is yes. In most cases, we can get it off, but some become, to the point where we can't, at least in a cost-effective way, take them off. But in most cases, we can strip a deck. It involves using a chemical stripper to soften up the product that's on there so that we can wash it away and get back to a clean slate and start over again.
My solution was to sell the house.
And he did not move the deck with him, so whoever bought it got the painted deck.
Now, in cases, are there some decks you guys just can't save? Because you guys do fences too, right? You go out there.
We treat exterior wood in general, so decks and fences and boat docks and a few dog houses along the way, there's certainly some that we can't save if they've waited too long. Basically the rule I have is that, if the wood's not structurally sound, it's too far gone.
Right.
Now, it may not look the way you want it to look, and that's exactly why you might call a company like Woodrenew, because we can bring back its appearance as well as protect it. But if you're scared to walk on it, don't bother calling me. Call a contractor. And
You can't repair it if it's fallen down, huh?
I
just washing it's not going to fix it.
I can't undo rot.
There you go.
And also, if you guys go out, clean and seal and stain one, is there? Do they need to have you guys out every year, or does it last so long, or how does that work?
That's a great question, and it really does vary an awful lot based on a number of factors, from the side of the house your deck's on. In Mary's case, she has a roof over hers. That's really going to extend the life of her deck, for example. Big trees, dogs, chlorine in swimming pools. In the terms of fences, a sprinkler system that beats on that fence all summer long, all of those things might cause your fence to not last quite as long, or your deck not quite as long as the next door neighbor's deck.
Right. So water and sunlight's the worst
Water,
thing.
sunlight, and then
Right.
of course just physical abrasion from little kids riding their bikes across the deck to big dogs and their claws scratching it up. All those sorts of things impact it. Typically, you're going to find somewhere between 1 and 3 years on a flat surface like a deck. Longer, 3, 4, 5 years on vertical surfaces like fences or siding.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's good to know. I'm glad to know that putting the roof over ours is going to help extend it.
Oh,
So
absolutely. Great
that's-
idea.
That's a great idea. Plus, it just makes it nice. Like when it was raining the other day, we could still sit on the deck. Previous to that, we didn't have a roof, so you didn't sit on the deck when it rained. And cured some other issues like the wind taking the umbrellas off and blowing it in the neighbor's yard and all that kind of stuff. So we're not going to deal with that anymore either. One of the questions I had is a lot of people, when they're trying to kind of do things themselves or whatever, bleach seems to be a product that people like to use for lots of different things. And I know that in the past we've heard people talk about that, and I don't know what it is, but sometimes your deck will, or your wood will kind of get that black look to it. I don't know if that's just dirt or mold or whatever it is. But they would take bleach water and a sprayer and clean their deck with bleach water. Do you recommend that? I don't know if that's a good idea or not.
I think that's just a terrible idea for a number of reasons. It's just a terrible idea. And number one, it's environmentally, that's not a very good idea just to be putting bleach out in your yard. Number two, especially if you're going to use that process before you apply a protectant to your deck, that bleach actually leaves kind of a filmy surface on the wood, and it'll actually keep the product that you apply to it from adhering properly and working the way it's supposed to. So for at least those two reasons, it's not a good idea. And the last reason is it's just not a very good cleaner. Nobody does a load of laundry and just puts a cup of bleach in there and calls it good. I mean, it's a terrible cleaner.
Bleach is just a whitener, isn't it? Or
It
what?
is.
So yeah, you're right. So you don't just
So you didn't clean your deck, you just you just changed the color of the mold and mildew on your deck, and then you protected right over the top of it. So it's just not a good idea. It may give you the appearance you're looking for temporarily, but I think it's a terrible idea, especially when there's commercial deck and wood cleaning products available that you can go buy. They're relatively inexpensive, and they'll do a much better job than the bleach did anyway, and they're not expensive.
And one thing we ought to add to that, Brett, is, if you're going to the big box stores and looking for a deck cleaner, most of the liquid deck cleaners, they're bleach with some fragrance in them. So I would recommend the powdered deck cleaners are far better, because otherwise you're still going to be using bleach.
Oh, okay. So if you're doing that, you need to make sure you read the ingredients on the container. So that way, especially if you have pets or if you have plants, a lot of people plant things around their deck. They have flower beds or different things like that. If you use that kind of product, and of course it's going to overspray on whatever's beneath the deck or next to it on the ground. So you might bleach your deck, but you might kill all your plants, and if it gets, then some splatters in the dog bowl, and so now he's drinking it, and it's just going to be a mess.
We see that all the time. Our best customers are the ones that have tried to do that themselves and have bleached out and killed their plants.
Oh, I'm sure. So I was looking at your website here, and it says all of the products and stuff that you use. Actually, you helped create you hired a chemist, and you actually helped create the product that you guys use. It's the foam product that actually cleans the decks and stuff, correct?
That's right. Yeah, I worked with a chemist years ago, and then, probably 20 years ago, I worked with a chemist. And then about 10 years ago, we worked with another chemist, and we actually came up with a product that we put on as a thick foam.
And that is all environmentally friendly. In other words, it's not going to hurt your dog if you have a dog or cat running around the yard. It's not going to kill your plants that you have sitting next to it and that type of thing. So there's no environmental effect with this product that you use.
Not at all. Koi gardens, we can spray this foam, in those nice backyard ponds. We have done walkways over botanical gardens with a lot of fish and tropical plants.
Okay.
We use it around, all the lakes. It's extremely safe.
I didn't even think about like a bridge over Koi Garden, because you do see those around too in different parks and things like that. So if you could clean something like that and not affect that type of environment, then I would say it'd be safe for anybody's use or purpose at all. So there would be no worries there. And I have a little dog, so I'm always concerned about things like that affecting my little dog because, you know, I don't want something to happen to him. Right now I don't have any plants, but that's okay. I will someday after we get the deck done and we get the yard fixed that we tore up building the deck. So
How long of a process is it for you guys to come out from start to finish on a typical home?
Oh boy,
Especially if you got to clean it first and all that.
every job we do requires two trips to the home, so 2 different days. Depending on the size of the job, we won't necessarily be there all day for a small deck on the ground. I don't know, 15 by 15 deck, say on the ground. A couple of guys can probably wash that in 30 minutes to an hour, and spend maybe an hour to an hour and a half getting it treated. But yeah, 2 different days, one day to get it cleaned and restored. And then you have to let the wood dry before you can apply the stain to it because you want that protectant to penetrate into the
Right.
wood. So 2 different days.
well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I thought maybe your drying time would be longer, but if it's just a day, that's pretty quick.
Well, that's up to Mother Nature. If it's rainy
Well,
or
sure.
humid or cloudy,
Sure.
then it might take longer. But yeah, in the spring and the summer where the temperatures are generally warm, it can usually dry in a day, and we can be back the next day.
And do you guys go out and do free estimates?
Yeah, absolutely. The only way to really know, a deck is not a deck. Everybody always
Sure.
asks me about the average deck, and I look at them all day. There's no such thing as an average deck. So we go out to look and see what's involved. And a lot of times, our time has nothing to do with the deck itself. It has to do with things like that koi pond that's right next to the deck, or the stucco or the glass that's right next to the deck, all the things that we have to worry about protecting.
Right.
Anybody can put the stain on the deck, not getting it all over everything else. That's what takes a professional.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Well, I had a question. I just lost it. Oh, I was going to say, why don't you let people give your information out, how they can contact you, a phone number, and if someone's interested or needs their deck taken care of, how can they reach you, Brett?
Sure. Anybody that wants to look us up, of course, we're on the internet at woodrenew.com. You can reach us by phone at 865-WOOD, which is 865-9663. And in the Branson Lakes area, that's 334-WOOD or 334-9663.
Since you mentioned the Branson Lakes area, how big of an area do you service out of Springfield? I know you have different franchise locations, but here in Springfield, what is your service area for the people that are listening in?
Well, we service 7 counties in the Springfield-Branson area, including Greene, Christian, Webster, Stone, Taney, Polk, and Dallas.
That's quite a few. So I think all those people are in our listening area. So if you're listening in and would like to have these guys come out and give you an estimate and take care of your deck, then you can give them a call. If you have a question for them, we're here at 862-9977 or 1-800-375-0056. A lot of times when we're out doing something for someone and we're replacing their heating and air, whatever, everybody wants to know about what the warranties are and guarantees, all that. What kind of warranties or guarantees come with when you come out and refurbish a deck or fence for someone?
Well, first of all, we want our customers to be pleased. So if at any time in our process, before, during, or after you have a problem with what we're doing, all you have to do is call us and we come make it right with you. That's just a flat guarantee for me. But as far as, you're asking how long does our product last, we usually have, or our customers take advantage of a maintenance program that we have with our decks, where if you'll have us come back inside a 3-year window, then we can come back and clean it and seal it again. It won't take us as long, so we can offer you a discount if you have us come back inside that 3-year window as part of a maintenance program. So a lot of our customers do that.
Well, that would make sense because once you get that preserved, then it's always cheaper to do maintenance and keep it preserved than to either rebuild it or wait until it's damaged to the point where you can't help someone out. So that's good information to know as well.
Absolutely.
I didn't realize that you guys offered any kind of maintenance program like that. So
Actually, it's very informal. You'll find that we're not a big high-pressure sales kind of company. Actually, our maintenance program consists of our customers getting a postcard in the mail from us after 12 months, just reminding you, because people tend to forget.
Sure.
Say, hey, it's been a year since you did your deck. Look out the window. If you like what you see, throw my postcard in the trash. If you think it needs to be checked, I'll come look at it for free and give you an evaluation. Like I said, some customers need to get it done in a year, most in 2, and some we stretch to 3, especially those of you, Mary, that have roofs on their decks. But
that sounds good to me. Is there anything in particular, or any kind of situation that you've run into that you found that you just cannot, aside from the deck falling down or the boards being rotted, any situation you found that you just absolutely cannot take care of? Like, for instance, I'm thinking we have some trees around our deck, and our neighbor has a tree, and some of those trees, some of the sap and stuff that falls on the deck is real gummy and sticky or whatever, and can just leave like a how do you describe it? It just leaves like a globby, sticky goo on your deck or whatever. Is that something that's difficult to get off, or can you take that off pretty easily as well? Because, after it's been there and people have walked on it and all that, it's kind of ground in. So,
Well, I guess I'll have to come look at that particular deck. I've not run across one that we couldn't get clean, but maybe your friend has one that might stump me. But we've never had that problem before. Now, there is a problem with sticky, gooey stuff that we get with a lot of our customers, and it's where the sap will bleed up out of a board, and that's not something coming from a tree above, but it's bleeding up from the board itself. And it's the weirdest thing. You may not see that for a couple of years on your deck, and then one summer it happens to be the right temperature and the right humidity, and all of a sudden it'll start bleeding that sap up out of nowhere. And there's not a lot you can do with that. I believe turpentine will help take that off, or some a gum remover type product might help you get that off your deck. Most often, your best solution is that board's probably going to keep bleeding for years. You might be better off just to replace that particular board if it's really bad.
Okay. Because I have seen that before on decks and things. So that's something that's just kind of an annoyance. We had a little bit of that on our deck in Nixa because we had some trees and quite a few trees and stuff around it. And we kind of get kind of a sap on there once in a while from when the trees would do whatever it is they do. But anyway, I didn't know if you could get that off or not. Sounds like maybe you can, or if not, they'll replace the boards. Pretty simple. Dan's telling me it's time to go on a break, so we are going to be back at you here just shortly.
This is the Wall Street Journal Report. I'm Jennifer Kishinka. We're feeling a little less optimistic about the economy. The University of Michigan Thomson Reuters reading on consumer sentiment is down a little from March due to gas prices and conditions in Europe. Economic advisor Joel Neroff says economic reports haven't been great lately, but that's to be expected.
Given the restraints of high gasoline prices, difficult housing market, and limited credit, the recovery is still only modest to moderate, and that means the economic data will not consistently tell us that we're headed towards strong growth.
And on Wall Street, stocks are broadly lower. The Dow Industrial's down 102 at 12,884. The Nasdaq's down 42. The S&P 500 off 14. Video rentals didn't kill the Coinstar. The operator of Redbox DVD kiosks raised its forecast, saying demand for movies is up, while card processing fees are down. Coinstar shares up nearly 9%. And this is the Wall Street Journal Report.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe here with big news. Ford apparently is having some sort of big tire event. I'm joined by Fiona, who's a service advisor to Ford dealership. How are you, Fiona?
I'm good, thank you.
What are you guys calling this big tire event?
Big tire event.
Very clever. Is it a reflection of the number of tires for sale or the savings, in fact, you can enjoy when you purchase them?
Yes.
I see. So essentially, many tires for sale and some sort of, is there a rebate or something?
Yes, there is a $100 rebate.
I buy 4 tires, I get $100.
Yes, you do.
That's right. Get a $100 rebate when you buy 4 tires at your Ford dealer. Name brands include Goodyear, Continental, Pirelli, Hankook, Dunlop, and Yokohama tires. Stop by today.
How many tires does Ford purchase every year?
Over 3 million tires.
Good grief, that seems like a lot. I only need 4.
You only have to buy 4, and you'll still get $100.
$100 rebate can't be combined with other tire manufacturer rebate or offer. See participating Ford dealer or visit FordOwner.com for rebate details through 5.
Girlfriend's Getaway. It just sounds inviting. Time spent together with good friends is precious. Gather up your girlfriends for a getaway to Branson. Enjoy spa treatments, shop till you drop, then re-energize yourself with a hike through the beautiful Ozarks. Pick out some live music shows and be dazzled by all the stars you'll see indoors in Branson. There's a wide variety of entertainment, extraordinary dining, outdoor fun, and interesting attractions, all at wonderfully affordable prices. Call 877-BRANSON or visit explorebranson.com.
A couple of weeks ago, we had Tracy Anthony, our go-to guy for the younger set, with us, and the response was exceptional. We've invited him back with his special guest this week to talk about what's happening with the younger generation. Tune in. You won't be disappointed. That's this Thursday at 10 a.m. on the W Factor, KWTO 560 AM.
You drive to work.
Now that's synergism.
To the gym. To the drape store.
Do you have any drapes?
Then back to work and the gym and the store. When your life is busy, so is your car. Protect your engine with Mobile Super Motor Oil. Its unique formulation protects your car's engine from wear, helps prevent sludge, and extends the life of your engine. Mobile Super for long engine life.
Now at Pep Boys, get an oil change special with 5 quarts of Mobile Super Conventional and a Pure Leader Classic oil filter for just $15.99. See store for details. Certain restrictions apply.
Here's news on the Ozarks News Network. A Springfield man has been charged with 2 recent robberies. 33-year-old Dale Barkfeld has been charged in connection with an attempted robbery at Family Dollar on West Grand and a robbery at the Dollar General on Kansas Expressway. Surveillance photos linked Barkfeld to the robberies. Governor Jay Nixon has ordered flags to fly at half-staff tomorrow in honor of Staff Sergeant Tyler James Smith. Smith died in combat April 3rd in Afghanistan. He lived in Licking, Missouri. And an Ash Grove woman has pleaded guilty to stealing nearly $480,000 from her employer. 53-year-old Carla Jean Wilson has pleaded guilty to forging checks from her employer and filing a false tax return. For the Ozarks News Network, I'm Arlen Summers.
Hi, I'm Bob Edwards with MoDOT. Join us for Talking Transportation at 10 a.m. each Wednesday. This week, we'll discuss this month's No More Trash activities aimed at cleaning up roads and rivers across the state. That's Talking Transportation, 10 a.m. Wednesdays. You can hear us on KWTO AM 560, the Talk of the Ozarks. Catch us on the web at radiospringfield.com.
A shower or thunderstorm in spots, otherwise mostly cloudy and mild for today, I-73. Cloudy, windy, and mild tonight with a shower or thunderstorm, low of 60. Cloudy and a windy start to the weekend tomorrow, high 81. Winds gusting upwards of 40 miles per hour at times, a low for tomorrow night, 61. Watch out for a few strong thunderstorms as we head into Sunday, otherwise it will be mostly cloudy, high of 75. I'm AccuWeather's Jason Lord.
And the present temperature reading in Springfield is 63 degrees.
Well, I went down to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, "You need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions."
And we welcome you back to Home Repairs and Solutions, brought to you by Spring Mountain Air Heating and Air Conditioning, your local Amani dealer. And now, once again, here's Mary Pearson and also Nathan Pearson. And
yes.
you have your old sidekick back.
Well, where
Mark.
is he? Let's put him
Mark
on.
is right here. Mark, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Mark. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. It's good to hear you. You sound like you're doing great.
I am recovering pretty well, and thought I'd better call in and just say hi to everybody and let everybody know how I was doing.
Well, I'm glad you did. I was talking to Stan and Brett earlier, and I said, it'd be kind of cool if Mark called in today, so I'm glad you did, and I guess you're resting and doing everything the doctors told you to do?
Absolutely, trying to do everything I can, because I definitely don't want to go through this again, so I'm trying to follow all the rules.
Well, that's good. We want you to follow the rules so you can get back on the air with me live here whenever you can. So. That's
right.
Well, do you have a deck you need to have done?
No, but, me and Stan, we go way back, and I wanted folks to know that when you call Woodrenew, it's still Woodbright to me, but Woodrenew, I think I sold Stan the very first 5-gallon bucket of Woolman products that he ever bought, and we're going years and years ago. And something that I admire about that company is the fact that it wasn't just handed to him. I've seen him work from literally nothing to build that company to what it is today. And that's one thing I have so much respect for Stan and all the guys, because he's done such a tremendous job building that company, making it what it is. And I'll tell you what, when you have those guys come out and do a job for you, it's going to be done right. And I can't say enough about them.
Mark, thank you very much. And you're right. You did sell me that first bucket. That's been hundreds of thousands of gallons ago, I think. And I appreciate all your support over the years.
Well, I've always almost felt a part of the company. I mean, matter of fact, there at one time we did work together for a little bit, and did some things, or tried to do some things, but you know, it's nice to find people who's honest and do what they say, and have a good product, and take care of the public, and do a service like what you guys do. It's just tremendous.
Oh, thank you, Mark. That means a lot. I really appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate what you've done for us over the years. So.
Boy, and glad to hear you're doing well. Boy, you have been through it, huh?
I have. You know, I'm doing pretty well. I had a little setback this week. I guess my surgery and everything kind of stirred up the kidney stones. So on top of recovering from the heart surgery, now I've been dealing with kidney stones, but I think I've about got that conquered. And
Good thing you're a tough character, Mark.
Oh, I tell you what, you don't realize how tough you are sometimes till you have to face all of this. But I just urge everybody, all of our listeners, if there's any history whatsoever, or not even any history of heart disease in your family, get yourself checked out. I feel so lucky and blessed that this was caught before everybody says I had the big one, which was inevitable. And
yeah, you dodged the bullet, didn't you?
I dodged the bullet, and I highly recommend get yourself checked out. It's so important. You don't realize it till you're faced with this, but I'm thankful I'm doing good, and I'm able to call in and chit chat with you guys.
Well, we're glad you're called in too. That's great.
So, but I'm, like I say, still recovering. Got a long way to go, but you know, we'll just keep hanging in there and doing what the doctors say, and we'll be good.
That sounds good. You'll be back on the air with me here really soon, I'm sure.
Yep. I'm sure going to try.
All right. That sounds great. You going to hang with us here for a little bit, or?
I think I'm just going to. I've been listening to the show, and you guys have done such a great job. I'm just going to hang up and let you have it. And you're doing wonderful. Nathan's sitting in there, and he's doing a great job. So hey, you don't need me hanging on. So.
Well, thanks for calling in, Mark. You have a wonderful weekend.
Okay, we'll do it.
We'll talk to you soon.
Take care, Mark.
Thanks.
Bye, Mark.
Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.
Well, good deal. That's great to know he's doing so well. I sent him an email earlier this week and didn't hear back, and now I know why. He had a little setback, and so it sounds like he's doing better now, so I'm glad to know that too. One of the things, we're talking to some folks here, Stan and Brett with Woodrenew here in Springfield, and they have a great website. Like they mentioned before, their website is woodrenew.com, and if you go on there, they have some great pictures, some before and after pictures of some things they can do for you. And one of the things we didn't talk about is that not only do you do decks and fencing and the things we discussed earlier, but if you have wood siding on your house, you know, that has to be maintained as well, just like a wood deck or something, and you can do a whole house for someone as well. There's a picture on here of a before and after, and it makes this house look brand new again. It's amazing, the difference. So does that process work the same?
It works exactly the same. Obviously, it's a lot more work and usually a lot of ladders involved, but yeah, the same process of cleaning and restoring that exterior wood and applying the protectant, and you're right, it makes a huge difference, not only just protecting your investment, but you know, just something as simple as curb appeal and just making your home look like it used to look when you first bought the place. So it's been huge. We've finished, I think, three complete homes in the last couple of weeks, and now we're on another project down in Kimberling City. It's going to take us probably a full week to complete. A big, beautiful home. We're really excited about it. The homeowner's very excited about it. So
I would imagine, because if you look at these pictures, you know, over time, that type of wood can really change the look of your home. You know, when you build those and you put that wood siding on, and I love the looks of that type of a house. They're just gorgeous. But over time, it kind of gets gray and dull and that type of thing. So to be able to transform that back to like it was when it was new, you've just got to smile when you pull it into your home and it looks brand new again. I mean, that's just amazing. It's just incredible that you have a product that can take wood and restore it like that.
And you know, Mary, we've been doing this for 19 years, and we're very efficient at it too. So, you know, if you have a large cedar home, it may not cost as much as you might think. We can get in and out in usually a week. And you know, make the appraised value of your home a lot more than what it's going to cost you to do it.
That's true. You know, I hadn't thought about that. If you have this type of home and if you're looking, we know a lot of people that are selling their big homes, kind of downsizing a little bit. You know, my husband and I did that. And before you get an appraisal or before you put it on the market, if you have one of these types of homes, I would say it would be well worth the money it would take to have you guys come out and restore it back to new. I mean, just the curb appeal, like you said, and it's going to look like a brand new home instead of one that's been there for 10 or 15 years that, you know, if you haven't kept that siding up and stuff, then you can get all that corrected and get more money for your home as well. Not just the deck part itself, but
Absolutely.
you have some great stuff on here. You have a video on here. There's some great information on a website. You know, websites are great. You can get lots of great information. Find out a lot about a company by going to their website and kind of checking around, seeing what they can offer, what they can do for you. And I think you have I thought I saw it on here. Do you have a contact thing on here if someone wants to get a hold of you via the web, which seems to be what a lot of people like to do? There's a contact form where they can request information or a quote from you guys, and they can just do it from your website as well.
Absolutely. You just click the button that says free quote, and it'll take you to a little page where you get your name and an address so I can come take a look at whatever it might be, whether it's your deck or your fence or accent trim. We do a lot of cedar trim. You know, people have little pieces of siding above a garage and a little beam across the front door, that sort of thing. We do a lot of trim on people's homes. So just, click on free quote and let us know where you're at. We'll come by and check on it for you for no charge and evaluate what you have and tell you if it's too far gone or not.
A lot of people do that. I see a lot of window shutters that are made out of pine and that type of thing too for accent. So, you know, sometimes you put those up and you don't always think about those have to be maintained. You put them on a brick home or something, but you know, over time, you know, they'll need to be maintained just like anything else. So, any project like that, you guys can take care of no matter how big or small or what it might be.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Can you guys do this pretty much year round, or is it spring and summer and maybe in the fall a little bit, or?
Yeah, the short answer is yes, we can. A lot of our customers don't know that we can, so we tend to be way busier in the spring and the summer. But just like this year, we had such a mild winter. There were a lot of days I wish we had more work to do, but nobody seems to want to call me in January or February. So we do what we have to do. But we work all year round. We do work outside. So I mean, obviously, there are certain days where it's snowy or icy or something where we can't work. But you know, those days tend to be fewer and farther between, and we can work most of the year round.
Wow.
So especially for people that have, you know, elaborate gardens in their backyards, you know, those folks don't want me in their backyard in the spring and summer. That's where they have all their flowers up. And so those customers are smart, and they call me in the fall, they call me in the winter, and I come take care of it. People with pools, they don't want me around when their pool's open. They want that done, you know, off season. So we have a lot of customers like that have us come out and take advantage of the off season.
Do you have any, and I don't know if you do this or not, because I think most what you do is wood products, but do you do any kind of cleaning of, like, if someone has a, like, patio, like an aggregate type rock patio or something like that, can you do any cleaning on something like that as well?
Sure, we provide that added service for a lot of our existing, you know, deck and siding and fence customers. They'll have us clean a concrete patio or the sidewalks, even washing the vinyl siding and gutters. We provide that additional service for our customers all the time, because the same cleaner that we use that does such a great job of killing the mold and mildew and algae in a nice environmentally safe way does the exact same thing on their concrete or vinyl or steel siding. So.
Also works very well on composite decks. You know, when composite wood first came out, they call it a no maintenance, and now it's low maintenance. It still needs cleaned. And then, like Brett said, with our foam cleaner works very well on the mold and mildew with the composites. On
a composite deck, after you clean it and stuff, does it have to be resealed, or is it done once you clean it? Are you done with it?
You know, you're done with it, but we actually have some customers have us put our protectant on it to get a little more life out of it, the appearance-wise.
Okay.
And some jobs, some composites we can, some we can't. There's a lot of different composites out there, so we'll just have to take a look.
I see. Those composite decks look really nice. You know, we have some friends who have those. They put them in, and it makes a really, really nice deck. And I thought that they were no maintenance too, but they've had theirs for a little while, and you can tell that, you know, they do get dirty just like anything else that's outside all the time. And so there is a degree of cleanliness that needs to be done to those as well. So it's good to know you guys did that. I just was thinking about that and didn't know that you did all that stuff. So you can do vinyl siding. See, when I think about your name, I just think of wood products. And I'm thinking maybe other people do too, but you can do more than just wood products for them. Obviously, if you can do siding and sidewalks and gutters and all that kind of stuff. Cleaning gutters and all that kind of stuff is never fun. Those are horrible to clean. My husband and I did that one time, and that was enough for me.
Well, now, it should be clear, we're cleaning the outsides of the gutters.
Yes,
We're not
right.
going to be cleaning the leaves out of
Right.
your downspout.
You're
But
just
yeah.
washing them and,
Yeah.
and taking the dirt and stuff off. Sure.
I don't like cleaning my own gutters either, so yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. We've washed ours before. Not the most fun thing to do. We've got a few minutes left in the show. If you want to give us a call, there's still time to ask Standard Bread a question. We're at 862-9977 or 1-800-375-0056. Why don't you give your number out again? We've only done that, I think, once this hour. And
Sure. Yeah, if you're in the Springfield area, you can reach us at 865-WOOD. That's 865-9663. And if you're in the Lakes area around Branson, you can reach us at 334-WOOD or 334-9663. And then, of course, you can find all that information on our website at woodrenew.com.
Thank you very much. And I was going to look here. I had something else on the website. You're talking about you can do boat docks and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Do you do quite a those for quite a lot of those? I know a lot of times a boat dock is owned by multiple people. So if you have multiple owners on a dock, do you have to have everyone want to do a boat dock, or will you just do someone's individual slip? Sometimes boat docks, they can get into kind of some interesting situations when there's multiple owners, and maybe someone wants theirs cleaned up and taken care of. Maybe the rest of them don't want to do theirs. Can you just do an individual one if it's a community dock?
You know, I suppose I could, but what generally happens is all those owners get together, some weekend when they're down at the lake and decide that they want it done, and they go in together and they decide to hire somebody together. It's not very often that I'll get one out of a 3 slip. Ask me to come do one of the 3. That doesn't really happen very often. Or that owner owns the entire dock himself and decides to get it
To
done.
do the whole dock.
Right.
That seems a little tricky to me if you're out on the water trying to do that. How do you do that? How do you get around to the outside part of the dock?
Now, if I give you all my secrets, then I don't have a business.
Because I was thinking about that. I was thinking, okay, I can see how you can stand and do the inside part, but how are you going to get around to the stuff on the outside with, you don't have anything to stand on? Doesn't seem to me like, but apparently you have it figured out.
We got a way.
Okay.
We can get it done.
Okay, you don't walk on water or anything, do you, Brett?
Oh, Lord, no.
Just
No.
checking.
No.
Just checking. Didn't know for sure. Because you have some of those on your website as well, like some walkways and stuff that are over the water and stuff. And so I know there's a lot of people down in the lakes area that have docks and stuff. And, being out on the water, I would think that they would probably need protected and cleaned a little more often maybe than something on the land, because they're constantly in the water.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and all the light reflecting off the water onto the deck, they're exposed, so they constantly getting beat on by the sun. All the foot traffic getting in and out of the boats and stuff. So yeah, boat docks get weathered pretty hard, so they probably need to get treated. They'd be a good example of something that you probably ought to do every year to 2 years. They're just not going to go 3 years. They just get a real beating.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Can you do those in about like a day too, or like if it's a 3 or 4 slip dock, it's take about a day to do one of those?
Yeah, we should be able to, wash it in a day, of course, and have to come back when it's dry. So I guess 2 different days. But yes, absolutely.
Okay, I hadn't thought about that until you brought that up. But that's something that I'm getting more aware of being down there by the lake now. You kind of pay more attention to stuff when you live down there than when you're just down there playing around for a day. But and we're getting ready to our community's getting ready to put in a boat slip. So I don't think ours is going to have any wood on it, though. I think some of the newer ones, they're not putting wood on them.
Right, I think so.
So they're trying to kind of get away from that, just because I think of the decay and the it just I think lasts a little longer without the wood, which would make sense to me. But do you have anything else you would like to bring up, or anything else you want people to know that you guys do? You've been in business for a long time. How long have you been around?
Well, actually, I'm kind of glad you brought that up. I believe that next year we're going to be celebrating a 20th anniversary of Woodrenew.
Wow.
And we're working on some exciting things for next year. I'm not at liberty to discuss any of that stuff yet, but we're working on our 20th anniversary celebration next year.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
So you guys have been around a long time. You're not going anywhere.
Oh, no.
So people can feel comfortable calling you and having you come out and take care of things for them, and know you're going to be here tomorrow, if they have a question or a problem, they can have you come out and take care of it for them. So you're not going to grab their money and run, any of that
absolutely
kind
not.
of stuff.
No.
And, sometimes it's kind of hard to know who to call when you're needing something done and you want someone you can trust. I know that you guys are licensed and insured, and you have all the legal stuff that you need in place to run a proper business.
And I'll give you a copy if you'd like.
And you can have a copy. And I would imagine if someone wanted referrals, you probably have referrals you can give, or you can give them locations in town where you've done stuff for people, where they can drive by and look at things that you've just recently restored for folks, so they can see the type of work you can do. And
it's one of the fun things about our job is when I'm driving around with my mom, I can show off the stuff we do, 'cause it's all over town. So you can point to it and say, that's what we did.
So they probably have done some work in whatever neighborhood you're living in, so they can probably let you know which neighbor or which house in your neighborhood that they've been working on. You can run over there and take a look at it before you give these folks a call and find out that they can do a great job for you. And so you're getting into your busy time, so if someone is wanting something done, what kind of time frame can they look at for as far as getting it done? Like if they want to have it cleaned, they need a deck cleaned or something. Are you working on 2 weeks out, or are you 3 weeks out, or can you do pretty quickly, or where are you time frame for that?
Sure. Right now, at the moment, I'm telling folks I'm about 6 weeks out.
6 weeks.
This
okay.
This is our prime time from March, April, and May. Our phones just ring off the hook, and we go as fast as we can go. We're probably right around 6 weeks. We'll probably even out to somewhere around 4 weeks out when we get into the summer. But right now is when I'm the most popular guy.
There you go. Well, if you're wanting your decks cleaned anytime soon before summer hits, and you're wanting to get that taken care of, I suggest you give these guys a call today. Get on the schedule so you can have this done, and then when summer gets here, you can just entertain and enjoy the summer and enjoy your new deck or house or whatever it is that you need to have redone and restored. Dan's telling me we have about 3 minutes left in the show, so I can't believe the hour's about over already. It did. We have some great information. You've helped us out a whole bunch, so we can kind of decide, what kind of product we want done with our deck or that type of thing. Maybe have you give us a free estimate on what to do. It's a big deck, so I'm thinking, I'd just soon have someone come do it, and I could just get on with my life, and then I would know we'd have the right product on there. That's the other thing. So, like I said, oftentimes, there's a lot of people that have the ability to do a lot of things themselves. A lot of people are real good at lots of different things. A lot of us aren't. And so sometimes we're better off hiring the professional, having it done right the first time, then going to the big box store, wherever it is you're going to go, pick up a product that might be the wrong product, find out you did it wrong, then you call the professional, then they have to fix it all. So typically, it's just easier to call a professional first. That way it's done right.
When a homeowner does it themselves, is all over the concrete or the, air conditioner. A lot I see, it's painted one color on a different side because of all the stain, and they cover their coils and just cause a lot of problems.
Yeah, and I was at a job this morning, actually, before I got here, where the owner had power washed it himself, and I could see the power wash scars all over the deck where he'd gotten too close and used too much pressure and actually did damage to his deck in the process of trying to restore it. And
yeah, I'll never stain or paint my own deck again. So.
Voice of experience right there. Nathan, you're good at other things, though, son, so that's okay.
Stick with the heat and air part.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll be calling you for that.
Well, we have 1 minute left in the show. Dan, you got anything fun happening this weekend at your house?
Well, I'm looking forward to a good weekend coming up, and it's supposed to be, we might have a little rain, but still supposed to be in the 70s. It's supposed to be a nice weekend.
It is. It's supposed to.
If you don't mind a little rain.
Good for a motorcycle ride.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's what he tells me he's going to do.
Sunday.
Sunday he's going to.
Working tomorrow, Sunday I'm riding.
Well, you need to come down and see the deck.
I might.
Okay, come on down. Maybe I'll feed you something.
That's what moms do.
You've been listening to Home Repairs and Solutions. We're heard here every Friday between 10 and 11 on KWTO 560 AM. Thanks for being with us today, and we wish you all a great weekend.
I got squirrels in my attic. I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter, and he shook